And joining me now from Oakville, Ontario is the Minister of Public Services and Procurement, Anita Anand. Nice to see you, Minister.
Nice to see you too, Rosie.
I want to start with Moderna. It is obviously is now having these manufacturing problems and cutting its delays down to 650 doses instead of 1.2, and then down again in June and July. What has it told you about the struggles it's having with its manufacturing process?
So, for confirmation, we have heard that the next shipment of Moderna will be reduced by about half.
Yeah.
We are still pressing the company to provide the deliveries for June, obviously, and that's still an ongoing conversation that we are having. In terms of the reasons for the delay, it is related to the company and the ramp up, and in particular, the need for additional labor. That is the information that we have been given by the company.
They've also had problems with quality assurances, sort of the last step before releasing the vaccine, as you said, with staffing. Moderna has never done this kind of thing before. They've never produced anything. So how much confidence do you have in the company at this point? Because it does seem to be struggling a little bit with this ramp up.
So I think it's a fair question, but we have to remember that Moderna did provide all of the 2 million doses in the first quarter of this year that it was obliged to under contract. And in addition, the shortfall that it is suggesting may occur for the whole quarter is a fraction of the total number of doses that Moderna will provide overall, which is between 10 and 12 million for the second quarter.
Okay, but I'm not sure you answered the question there. Do you still have confidence that they can keep to their delivery schedule, given that they have had delays now, multiple delays?
Of course, I'm very concerned, somewhat disappointed, as you can imagine, given that we are urgently in need of vaccines in this country, and we are doing everything we can to bring them into this country, as the announcement about Pfizer today reveals. So having said that, we are watching supply chains very carefully across the board with all of our 8 suppliers. And in particular, we realize that there is a ramp-up phase that has to occur for every company.
I would imagine that there are contractual obligations to hit your delivery date with a pharmaceutical company, and I would hope that there are penalties if you do not. Can you confirm whether that's the case?
Well, at this point, what we are focused on is ensuring that we continue to bring vaccines into this country, and we will continue to press the suppliers to do so. There has not been a breach of contract at this stage, and indeed, strong relationships with our suppliers has been fundamental to ensuring that we've accelerated 22 million doses already from one quarter to the next. And so we'll continue to build that relationship with suppliers so that they will come forward and provide additional doses, just like Pfizer did today with the 8 million doses starting to arrive in May.
Well, let's talk about Pfizer, because it does seem to me, and I'm sure to you as well, like every time we have a problem with another company, suddenly Pfizer pops up and has millions more doses of vaccine. Do you have any assurances or reason to believe that they might be able to push more our way faster and earlier?
Well, I'll begin by saying that Pfizer has been an incredibly stable partner in the bringing in of vaccines to this country. And we continue to ask them for earlier and earlier doses, and they continue to ensure that we are able to do that. And the announcement today, which will allow 2 million doses per week coming in the month of May and 12.5 million over 5 weeks coming in the month of June, is just one example of how Pfizer has come to the table when we have asked. We will continue to do that with Pfizer and with all suppliers to make sure that we have enough vaccines for Canadians.
And again there, though, because we are pressing them to deliver quicker and more, are we paying them a premium to do that, or are they just doing that out of the goodness of their heart?
Well, we are paying fair market value for these doses, and they are obliging our requests, we exercised options for those 8 million doses, and we had built that flexibility into our contracts. So again, the ability for Canada to bring in increasing number of doses goes back to the diversified portfolio of vaccines that we put in place back last August and made sure that we had flexibility there so that we can draw down on our contractual arrangements.
The U.S. continues to scale up, as you know. I think they've reached 127 million people who have received one dose. I know you talk to them regularly. At what point do you think the supply chain is going to start freeing up from the United States and we will start to be able to access more from that country?
Well, again, a very good question, but I'm not focused on the U.S. timeline as much as I am on ensuring we're having those discussions right now. Mm-hmm. And that's why we have been engaged with the U.S. administration since January. And that's why we were able to bring in the 1.5 million doses of AstraZeneca at the end of March, because we are in constant discussion with the United States, and we'll continue to do that through our ambassador, Kirsten Hillman, and with her excellent help in order to have Canada as being well placed to continue to draw doses from multiple countries, not just the U.S.
Let me ask you a more political question. The Ford government in the province where we both are continues to say that the reason they are struggling with the third wave is because they don't have enough vaccine. Do you think that statement is accurate, that we would be in a better place in this province if they had more vaccine, or could you have gotten more for them faster?
Well, let me just say that the entire world wants more vaccine. We all want more vaccine. I'm a resident of Ontario, as you say, and of course, I would like to see more vaccine being spread out over Ontario and the country as a whole. What we are doing as a federal government is bringing in as many vaccines as possible. Indeed, they are record numbers in light of the fact that we don't have domestic production at the current time. And we will continue to support the provinces and territories in any way that we possibly can. And supply will continue to come into the federal government. We will push it out to the provinces and territories as soon as we get it. And we will provide continued transparency about what is coming in and when. That's why, Rosie, I provided not only the good news about Pfizer today, but also the somewhat disheartening news about Moderna shipments, because we want complete transparency, and that's what I'm aiming to provide.
Are you vaccinated yet, Minister, or are you soon to be?
I am not vaccinated. I am under the 55 AstraZeneca limit for this province, and I have watched my husband get vaccinated. I have watched my parliamentary secretary get vaccinated, and I will wait my turn very patiently and continue to advocate for the importance of Canadians receiving vaccines.
Okay, Minister, I'm waiting with you. So that our day will come. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Lizzie. Take care. Thanks for the conversation.